What's going on, everybody? Central Park Joe here, and in part one of this series, which are overlooked principles that successful people have used to become successful and maintain their success, we discussed becoming a student of the game and the importance of learning as much as possible about your endeavor, not only the history, not only educating yourself on the origins of whatever your endeavor is, but also how to look for things that are unique to your endeavor that can help you grow into a successful person or to become a champion. In the example that I used, which was Mike Tyson, one of my favorite boxers, and how he was a student of the game of boxing and how he used that to become the baddest man on the planet at, I think he was either 20 or 21. So I really should look this up, and I'm trying to do it by memory. So thank you so much, everybody, first and foremost, for all the kind words, all of the subscriptions, all of the feedback, especially on this last video, the one we discussed becoming a student of the game. Very, very interesting points were made. And so that brings us to part two, or the second most important fundamental principle that many successful people have used to become successful and maintain their success. And again, this is an observation, so I'm not coming to you as someone who's kind of like, yes, now here's how I became successful and I can make you successful too. Okay, that's not my intent with this video. It's basically an observation and also something that I'm trying to do and incorporate into my life in order for me to become successful, in order for me to become a better trainer, a better YouTuber, a better dad, a better spouse, a better whatever. These are all principles that are interchangeable really throughout all of our lives. But we'll keep it within the context of, say, physical fitness or sport. So without further ado, the second principle that I'd like to discuss today is being coachable. And what I mean by that is, being coachable, to me and to my observation, is having an open mind, having a free enough mind to allow people to come to you and offer you constructive criticism on your performance, to also enable you to understand what the big picture is and how your success, whether it be an individual success or within the team framework, where you would fall in that hierarchy of becoming successful. So it's also, I don't think it's possible with a big ego. So in other words, like, you have to have an absence of ego, you have to have an open mind, and you have to have, I think, patience is something else that's another fundamental part of or principle of being coachable. Looking at the big picture, looking at the big picture over time, and looking at how you will be able to achieve success. And so who can we look to as an example, or examples who have been very coachable throughout their careers? Serena Williams in tennis, Michael Jordan in basketball, there's Peyton Manning in football, who is also very much a student of the game, and someone who I think is really worthy of discussing about this principle of being coachable is Tom Brady. As Tom Brady is acknowledged as like the greatest quarterback in the history of football, right? And so he, imagine, the greatest quarterback in football history has a head coach, a quarterback's coach, an offensive coordinator, strength and conditioning coach, nutritional guidance probably that the team provides, and some sort of a mental coach probably. And now all this is provided by the team, and then you figure on his own, he's probably got his own people he works with. And so could you imagine if someone of the level of Tom Brady wasn't coachable, and the head coach would say, okay, so Tom, here's what we need you to do. And he'd be like, well, you're telling me what to do? Look at all the Super Bowls I have. Look at all the MVPs and championships. And here, don't tell me what to do. I should be telling you what to do. That happens all too often in life, I think, and that prevents people from being successful. How many times have you heard, man, that person has all the ability, all the attributes to be a superstar or a champion or a captain of industry or a great musician or artist, and they just didn't fulfill that potential. Or again, going back to the example of, say, football, you've got, wow, how will so-and-so ever be able to duplicate that great season that he had, or that great season that she had on the tennis court or basketball court or whatever? Maybe this next step in their career, maybe this next stop in their career will be the one to get them back on track, when it's really pretty much them who decide whether they're going to get back on track or not, whether they're coachable, whether they're able to understand what the big picture is. And that, to me, is the takeaway of this conversation. It's be open-minded, free your mind. Even if someone comes to you, even if it's a family member or a parent or a friend or somebody, and they say, hey, wow, you seem to be doing really good. Hey, check this out here. And instead of poo-pooing it, instead of saying, oh, well, that's not something I'd be interested in, listen to people's suggestions. Listen to it, process it, and think about it with an open mind, because oftentimes people around you, loved ones, coaches, mentors, what have you, they do have really, really constructive and very interesting and beneficial things to suggest to you. So, guys, have an open mind, drop the ego. That little bit of knowledge, that little bit of success is a crucial point in people's lives and careers as well, because what happens there is you get a little bit of success, you feel a little bit like, oh wow, I'm somebody. Hey, I'm Central Park Joe, right? Yeah, I'm doing great. And that's when the ego creeps in. That's when people come to you and say, hey, Central Park Joe, you should try doing your push-ups this way or something. And again, like I'm just using myself as an example, I'm like, hey, you know what? That's pretty cool. I'll have to check that out. Or maybe you're doing too much of this, or not enough of this, or what have you. Just open up your mind and listen to people, and engage with them as well. Talk to them as well. And that's really, part of it, that discourse, being able to have a back and forth with a coach or a mentor. So my takeaway points are open mind, free your mind, open your mind. Don't let ego creep in. Don't let a little success or a little knowledge ruin it for you. And it's good to be confident, but don't be cocky. Don't be dismissive. Don't be rude. Be kind. And hopefully you'll be successful. So this is Central Park Joe here. Thank you so much for everything. Love all you guys. Love everything about being able to talk to you like this. And let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments. And, I'll see you down there. Take care, everybody. Love you all.